What's going on, Bulls fans? We're back. This is Chicago Bulls Central. You guys already know we're back. We talk about Bulls things here. We drop, I don't want to say, I will never commit to daily content, right? That's just the way my life is set up. I will never commit to that. But we drop pretty regular content here. If this is your first time checking out the channel, we talk about Chicago Bulls, everything and anything. And today we'll be talking about, in the Boston Globe, Gary Washburn speculated that, that Zach LaVine could become the number one target of the Boston Celtics if Bradley Beal, they end up not getting him or he's not available. Now, of course, you'll see, and it's always funny, right, for me to watch how when something comes out like that in the other sports websites, they just post, oh, Zach LaVine's the number one target of the Boston Celtics. Like that was not, it was one guy in an article speculating, but we're in that lull period of the NBA offseason where people are going to try to make news out of everything. Hell, I'm making a video out of it. So, I can't really shit on anybody else using it for content, but just the way that it's presented sometimes can make you feel like it. If for people who just read the headlines or who don't go and check out the source of who originally said it, now like it could turn into this whole thing of, oh, the Boston Celtics are trying to take away Zach LaVine. It's really just one guy speculating, but it's an interesting thing to talk about. It's probably going to be one of my shorter videos, but I do want to talk about this. So let's say that the Boston Celtics do decide to turn their attention to Zach LaVine. Let's say he becomes their target. They want Zach LaVine. They want to pair him with Tatum. They want to pair him with Brown and just continue what they have going on there. And they feel like Zach LaVine may be the perfect complement to the players that they have on their roster. All right. Boston would need, I'm not sure. Again, I say it all the time. I'm not a capologist at all, so I don't have like who fits under what. But the Boston Celtics, let's say that they do have the cap space. Let's say they don't and they want to work out a sign and trade. Does it at all affect the Bulls' ability to re-sign Zach LaVine? They do have a lot of talent over that roster. They have a lot of young talent as well, and talent that, can grow with Zach as Zach continues to ascend. But I'm not really worried about it. I'm not somebody who thinks that Zach LaVine's going to leave. And maybe that confidence ends up biting me in my ass, but I have full confidence that Zach LaVine is going to come back and re-sign with the Chicago Bulls. But like I said, just for the interest of conversation, let's say it does turn into a bidding war. We already know the Bulls can offer more money unless it's a sign and trade, but the Bulls can offer more money than any other team. But let's look at it from a roster standpoint. When you look at what the Bulls have on their roster, right now, going into next offseason, everything stays the same. The Bulls don't pull off any major moves or anything. And the Boston Celtics roster going into next season, not this season coming up, but the next season after this season, what roster would you bet on more? For me, the front offices are kind of a wash there. The Boston front office has shown that they are going to continue to try to improve that team. They've proven it for longer. We know AK and Eversley, their regime is really just starting here in Chicago. But I think the front offices, for me, and this may be me being a Chicago Bulls homer, is a wash for me. So it really comes down to the roster. It comes down to what roster do you think gives you, if you're Zach LaVine in this case, the best chance of winning a title? And that's where it gets a little bit more murky, trying to just admit it as a Chicago Bulls fan, but trying to take my fandom out of the equation, is that the Boston Celtics have a pretty solid roster, right? And, Jason Tatum, as many flashes as he showed his rookie season and seasons from then, and just, the player that it looks like he can be when it's all said and done. Is Jason Tatum better than any other piece on either roster? That's what I think it boils down to. Brown, okay, Jaylen Brown is great too. He's going to be amazing as well. But Tatum, is Tatum, when he's going to develop, can that pairing with Zach LaVine be the best pairing in the Eastern Conference outside of Brooklyn? It's an interesting question to pose, right? It gets very interesting there. I love Jason Tatum as a player. Maybe it comes from me living in St. Louis so much and him being from St. Louis, but I really do love Jason Tatum as a player. He's a player that you really can fit on any team, and he's going to get his numbers. He's going to be productive. He's going to play solid on both sides of the ball. But there is that but. Does the Bulls being able to offer more money even that out? And like I said, the Bulls, let me not act like honestly, the Boston Celtics roster is more proven, right? People know what that commodity is, but I really don't think, for me and for my money, and again, I have to admit that some of this is me just being a Bulls fan, is that I don't think that Boston's roster is way above the Chicago Bulls. Right? Again, we don't know. Like the thing that makes this a difficult question to answer is the fact that we've seen this Boston Celtics roster for the most part. Yes, they've made changes as well this offseason, but we've seen what they look like. We've seen how dangerous they can be. The Chicago Bulls are really an unproven commodity right now because of how many changes we made. But when you look at Jason Tatum, when you look at Jaylen Brown, when you look at a veteran like Al Horford, a great sub in Marcus Smart, Chris Dunn's there, but nobody gives a damn about Chris Dunn. Jason Richardson's there. Nobody cares about Jabari Parker. Enes Kanter's there. It raises some questions. I would be lying if I didn't say that initially because I saw one of those articles that I talked about, an article that it was just said the Boston Celtics are interested in Zach LaVine. And then I did some more research and found out like where it started from. And it was like, okay. But it did make me nervous a little bit. And this is the thing. Also, Zach LaVine played on the Olympic team with Jason Tatum. We don't know the conversations that have been had there. I know that, as Bulls fans, we like to think that, Zach LaVine being on the Olympic team, hopefully he was recruiting people and trying to sell people on what we're doing here in Chicago. But it could be that a bug got in Zach LaVine's ear about other teams. Anything is possible when you have players of that level all together, traveling together, building camaraderie. And of course, they're going to talk about like what would it be like if we were able to play together. Nobody's came out and said that that's happened. Again, this is all speculative, but it makes you think. It makes you think about the possibilities. Now, like I said, this is a rumor that, and it's not like it's blown up anywhere. It's not huge anywhere else. If you guys want to check out the article, go look at the article by Gary Washburn on the Boston Globe. But these are the things in which I talked about in one of my last videos, is that we're going to get more and more of this over the course of the season. And especially if Zach LaVine plays the way that we expect him to play this season and the Bulls are winning like we hope that they can win, we're going to get stuff like this all through it. All of a sudden, Zach LaVine's going to go from a team where it's like, well, teams don't really have a lot of cap space to such and such team is interested in him, especially with him being with Clutch Sports as well. But let me know what you guys think about it. Do you think if you were given the chance to swap rosters with the Boston Celtics and bring them over into the Chicago Bulls and pair them with Zach LaVine, is that a better roster than what you guys are expecting us to have next year? Like I said, it raises an interesting question. It's just a difficult one because we've seen that other team play. But again, it's all for naught. It's all for naught. Like Zach LaVine is going to remain with the Chicago Bulls, and I'm going to hold on to that thought until I get some solid news or speculation that it's the other way around. But I really do believe Zach LaVine is going to be back. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think a team like Boston being interested in Zach LaVine can tip the scales and maybe make Zach think of going somewhere else, especially if the Bulls, like I said, my opinion on this is all based around the fact that I think the Bulls are going to be a really good team this year. But if for some reason, if these moves that the Bulls make doesn't work, we got to start thinking about it. The other side of that conversation is all I'm going to say. And I don't want to alarm the fan base. Like I said, I believe truly that Zach LaVine is going to be back here. So I don't want to alarm it, but for the interest of conversation and just having a conversation with other Bulls fans, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this type of speculation or other teams being interested, like of the Boston Celtics caliber? Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Thank you for all the continued support. Don't forget, next week we'll be announcing the winners to the Bulls merch giveaway. So I'll see you guys in probably a couple of days with the way things have been shaking out. As always, go Bulls. Peace.